Hey, welcome to another episode of Politics and Wellness. I am your host, Captivating Christian, and you guys, of course, are my co-host along with Brother Nate. Welcome. Hey, Beach, how are you? Hey, Starbella. Hopefully all is well with everybody. And those of you in the luscious balcony seats on Cap Hill here, hopefully you guys are comfortable. Hopefully you all snuggled in because it's going to be a bit of a conversation on a lot of different issues, spectrums, and so on and so forth. Brother Nate, just let me know when you're ready, sir, and we can get this party rolling. Hey, Ron P., how are you? Like I said, I hope everybody is doing well as this week hasn't started. Now, we know that there's been a bit of a slight kerfuffle with my moderator being confused with another content creator here that has somewhat stirred up people's emotions and things. Again, just want to set the record straight that my moderator is not stomped down. I have, if I saw the picture up on somebody's community wall, yes, I have reported it because it shouldn't be there. With that said, I hope that everybody is respectful and respects my decision to not have my people involved in anything that's going on here. Because the truth of the matter is, if the person does come from, quote unquote, the house of Jay Wilson, then Jay Wilson would possibly know the identity of said person. And if you're cool with Jay Wilson, then you could ask Jay Wilson if that is actually him. And it's just that simple. And the fact that you haven't done that speaks volumes. Real quick, what I will talk about before I get started in news and stuff is this discussion of what real men do, what quote unquote real men do, and what non-real men do because they happen to be same gender loving or whatever the case may be. And I get that comes from people of a particular age because it's a different dynamic. But to be very clear, I am a man all day. And I don't even know how to put this. I've never been raised any other way, but to carry myself with respect, dignity, not only for myself, but for my family. To be a man of my word, to be a person of honor and integrity. All those other things as far as going around and having tons of kids, yeah, I could have done that, but it wasn't for me. It wasn't me. I grew up in a household where my mother did a lot because my biological father was absent. So I did not want to continue that cycle. I wanted to break that chain and not be a part of that. And some people choose to make that choice. It doesn't make them any less of a man or anything. And whoever they choose to love still doesn't make them any less of a man. Now, whether they're here or not, and whether they choose to participate in what some people quote unquote call gossip or whatever this is, that's their business. And again, it doesn't make them any less of a man, because it's funny how we want to talk about how they're men 1 minute and then they're less of men in other spectrums, because when they're cursing you out and calling you all types of bees and whatever else, and fish and, so on and so forth, the list is on, then they're men attacking women. So they make up your mind, choose a side, and know that I will be a man all day. But if you disrespect me, I will check you in the way in which I see fit. And everybody's different. And I'm not knocking people for when you come at them and they come at you crazy and you feel like you're a woman and they shouldn't come at you like that. Well, you might want to think about how you come to certain people, because the energy that you give is the energy that you will receive. And with that said, we are on to bigger and better things. Thank you so much for the people that have come and subscribed or, watched the video and thought it was funny. That is me. This is different because this is serious. It's about life. It's about what we go through. So you may get some chuckles in here, but it's real. That's me on the regular outside of this YouTube. So if it humanized me for you, then more power to you. Thank you. Thank you for the subscribers. Thank you for the attention. Appreciate it. But in real life, there's things far more important. And with that said, I will continue on with the show. So, Brother Nate, are you ready? All right. So let's get into it. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, man. And yourself? Good evening, everybody.
I'm good. It's been a good couple of days.
Quiet.
To say the least. Now, I'm curious to if anybody utilized this Halloween thing to actually make some money, or if they just, did nothing.
No, but I learned a new spell.
Did you?
Yeah.
What's that?
Dryas Cuntus.
It's like driest assness.
Assness, that's right. Dryas Cuntus.
Right.
Okay. So you can just use your imaginations.
Right. So we're just going to get into a lot of things. There are some things that definitely we didn't talk about last time that I want to get into, but there is an update that, of course, I want to discuss and get into real quick. So we'll play the little update. All right. Here we go with one update that I thought was really, really funny. The judge in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, the young 17-year-old white thug who shot up those protesters because he was defending freedom and all this other bullshit that we like to hang our hats on when, of course, you're of the man-age descent, that everything is patriotic and you're standing up for America. Of course, the judge got mad heat because he agreed to allow the defense not to call the victims and rather call them looters and, people that would automatically get this kind of negative notation that they almost deserve the punishment that they received from Kyle Rittenhouse. He got so much heat and so much flack that, of course, he recanted his whole decision, is now going to think harder on all of the evidence and making a decision. Right.
I'm waiting for them to call a mistrial. How much do you? I really think they're going to call a mistrial. They're going to get halfway through it.
Of course they are, because just the simple fact that he's white and young, they instantly don't want to ruin the rest of his life. They figure, this is a mistake, as they do all of them. You look at Casey Anthony, that old case, where he clearly killed that young, that child because she either wanted to party or, whatever the case, or she had a lover who didn't really was interested in a person with kids, and she felt she needed to do what she needed to do so she can continue to live her life. So, she did that, and people looked at her as, she may have made this mistake, but we don't want to ruin the rest of her
when they
life.
do it, it's a mistake.
Right.
Let's give them a second chance.
Right. But it's always that case with them. It's, they have the rest of their lives to make up for this mistake. When it's us, it's criminal. I mean, we just talked about the story last week and the week before with this young as 7 being trained in the prison pipeline. So it's ridiculous how, of course, these double standards exist in the justice system and other places when it comes to us. So
it's always been multiple Americas. Let's put it like that: multiple Americas.
Right.
It's not just black and white. It's everything else.
Right. That, of course. Real quick, prayers go out to Jesse Jackson, and I'll hold back my feelings on Mr. Jesse, but I'll just Judas out there a little bit. But and that's just my own personal theory.
If you can't say it from the heart, don't say it at all.
But I'm just saying, it's just Judas on me whenever I just think of him because you got to have somebody infiltrate in the circle in order to get to the person in the circle. Like they had to get to somebody inside the camp.
All right. I just want to know who tripped Jesse.
But Jesse did. There's a report that Jesse Jackson fell during a protest of young people protesting against voting rights and other things. So prayers go out to Jesse Jackson. Hopefully he's, on the mend. I did hear that he is suffering from, is it Parkinson's?
He has Parkinson's. Yeah. Because
so,
if you look at him, he reminds you of Muhammad Ali. He just has that look.
Yeah.
So I kind of figured that's what it was.
Right.
Even before they even announced that's what he had when he needed help getting around.
Right. Yeah. So like I said, prayers go out to that. But
good evening everybody who's dropping in.
Yeah, say hey everybody. So in other news past that, so much is going on. Where can I start? Because I had a place, but then I lost it. Well, real quick, we'll talk about and I won't even talk about that because I just mentioned that. I ain't gonna go back into that a little bit. We'll say that for later. Stacey Abrams. Queen Stacey Abrams. I mean, the person that makes Southern Republicans shake in their boots, regardless if it's Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina. This woman and her grassroots organizations have been really kicking it in gear, doing far more work than any of these white Republicans and or Democrats have done in Congress, period. Basically, her grassroots program, which is Fair Fight, which basically for voting rights and other things, they basically go into court and they do a lot of litigation and correcting a lot of these local government changes that affect people of color, Black and brown people, from voting. She has given $1.3 million to clear medical debt for citizens.
For citizens.
Right, for citizens. 1.3 million. That's a lot of money for a grassroots
organization. That's right.
Right, for one Black woman who was run for governor and who was cheated by the governor himself as he sat as the Secretary of State, which was over the election board, was able to finesse his way in there and discard millions of votes. I say good for her. Good for her. Keep showing these people that you're nothing to play with. You're nothing to mess with. You are. It wasn't a fluke for her to run for governor and get the votes that she did. This was real business because this woman is about doing the business of the people and not playing for votes and really being serious and being out there. So definitely hats off to Stacey Abrams. Your thoughts on that?
Just shows you that she's able to have more of an impact than that cocksucker that's in office.
Which one?
Cocksuckers. Okay.
Okay. I was about to say.
I'm sorry, I did say singular form.
Yeah, you did. I was just trying to figure out which
but
one
it does. It just proves that even if you're not in office, you make an impact.
Yeah. I mean, because it's really all about your message and really being out there with the people, and that's why I say that I am for term limits. I know some people feel some type of way about term limits.
Oh yeah,
but I am for term limits, and it's because a lot of these people, whether they're Republican, Democrat, or whatever, have gotten fat off the hog of all this extra money in their pockets. There are ways that they can, engorge on their own financial upcomings and just sit in places of power with, enormous wealth that they are so disconnected from the everyday average working person that they can sit there and go back and forth with, oh, I would do the Voting Rights Act, but I need you to cut this off the budget. But the people in your fucking state are poor.
Joe Manchin. What'd you say, Joe Manchin?
Well, it just curls my skin just to say his name because he's just so, like, if there was ever a person placed in power just to sit back and whomever, would gain power, they were supposed to be the person to fuck shit up. It's him. And he was there the whole time just sitting and waiting. And soon as it happened, he was hit with the activate button, and now he's activated.
He's a mole. He's a mole. Him and Sinema.
Him and Sinema, which Sinema has been getting tons of money from GOP.
That's right, GOP.
And she is definitely at her capping limit. But that's just the stuff that she's reported, okay, that they discovered that she's at her limit. So she's already at her limit now, and they reported this. You can imagine what other money and funds that have been funneled to her to make sure she keeps up this charade. The same thing with me, same thing with Joe. It's a lot of dirt in politics. It really is. And I think that term limits is the best way to make sure that there are new.
You shouldn't be able to retire from it.
Right.
Because it would sever all ties that you may have with big industry. Once you're in, you only have a certain amount of time, and once it's done and you're out.
Yeah.
And you can't run for that office again. You need to either that or move around.
Right. Either that or find something else to run for. People quick to just run and go, oh, well, I'm just going to stay here forever or move to a different committee in Congress. No, you don't get to do none of that shit. Just keep it moving. Go on about your business.
Yeah, because they're so entwined, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they really are. So it's like you can't trust nobody to really be for the people because everybody has their own little interests here. And again, I don't like to bring the black-white thing in it, but it's
in everything.
True. It's in everything.
It's in everything. You cannot.
Right now, you got Chuck Schumer. Here you have the majority, and you're still pussyfooting around, really making real change because of what? You don't want to disrupt your Republican colleagues. How the hell do you care when they're willing to throw your ass out to a running car, get run over 3 and 4 times and not care nothing about it, but you're being more concerned about how this may look on you? And it is, we're here at a impasse where it is time to vote now. Early voting has started for the early preliminaries for your candidates, for your gubernatorial races. All that has started right now. So if you don't go out there and vote and pick the candidate that you like, you will have to choose between a candidate that you really may not like and someone that you may not like at all. And you got to pick, one of the two. And this is down the board, and especially with
and make sure you vote down ballot.
Right. And with your local officials, just real quick, with your local officials, you have a lot of the sheriffs, you have a lot of these local offices that really run, your counties and your districts. So you have to be careful. You have to make sure that you're voting for your interests. But go ahead. What were you saying?
As we was able to see how voting down ballot kept a lot of Trump bullshit out of certain states. Because most people never, they don't vote their interest. They don't vote down ballot just for their local elections. And that's why it is so important to do so.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Listening to this, CJ. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, S. Hutchinson.
Hey, Nicole, gifted.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
S. Hutchinson. By. Look, y'all got to get shorter names.
Please, I tried to get a shorter name and they still confuse it. I saw I read a little bit of the article that you did send me on Justice Sotomayor talking about liberal justices warn that guns and same-sex marriage and religious
Yes,
rights,
that's next.
yeah, will all be attacked due to
It's
this
happening now,
Texas
matter of
abortion.
fact.
Right? Yeah, it is happening right now. Like Texas is making sure that they are the. It's almost to me that they want to be the next capital. Like they want to be a new DC. That they are pushing to be the Republican capital or the Republican state of the nation.
Mhm.
Governor Hot Wheels has really lived up to his name. He is racing through making these staples in the state of Texas that if these Democrats don't stop, can excuse my language, but fucking around, they're gonna have a tough time trying to overturn a lot of these
A lot
things
of that stuff, yeah.
without making it a nationwide mandates on a lot of these things. That it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, Governor Abbott is going after everything,
Everything.
everything,
Because
everything that he does not agree with, or
and that's exactly what they're doing.
even stuff against his own interests. Him being a disabled man going against people with disabilities, he is gutting everything, and they're allowing him to do it because, of course, he has state power because all of the state legislators are majority Republican. So again, this is when the issue.
Yeah, y'all gonna be wearing hoods,
right?
And they won't be white.
Right. Right. It'll turn it into a whole what's that?
With the women,
with the women,
women,
but it'll be like that. And this is why when we say vote locally, this is the importance. It is not about your president. Your president can't really save you because you have a president, so to speak. Like the president is the CEO of the company, but he has other shareholders who sit on the board, and those people that sit on the board are your local governors, right? So your governors go out and they run the company. Really,
yeah.
The CEO does not run the company. Those people that sit on the board, they run it. So they get to say, when the CEO says this is the plan that we're going to run through for the 2022 and on. These are the programs that I want you to implement to the teams so we can keep this business rolling. People can sit and go, well, I like this program, but I don't like this program. So I'm not going to take the whole program. I'm just going to take a piece that I know benefits a lot of people that are beholden to me, and I'll hold on to that piece. So when you look at like the Affordable Care Act and some people go, oh, the Affordable Care Act is trash. How about you look into what state you're in and what parts of the Affordable Care Act is your state allowing to actually work for your state? Because a lot of it is chopped and diced to where some states say, oh, I want this piece, but I don't want that. So, you're looking at it like it's not beneficial to me, but in reality, it is. It's just your local officials are saying, you know what, we're going to take this piece of it. You can keep the rest of that shit. And without you being educated and knowledgeable about what's going on, you just think, oh, see, I shouldn't. Why did I vote for this person? They didn't really do anything. They did, but your governor and your local officials that you bothered not to vote for because you thought, at least if I vote for the president, then that will enact real change. And newsflash, it doesn't. I mean, look at this current president right now. And again, this is where race plays into a factor for me. And this is just my opinion, but it is just plainly obvious that if you can get everybody else on a demographic where they feel that they are at least one leg up than the people who have been marginalized the whole time, then they will join in the group because they feel included. So if you can sit there and we can talk, to it blue in the face about having these commissions about reparations and then what people will do with it, but you're willing to give thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
You can spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on a war. They could have paid us. They could have paid the
3 and 4 times over. 3 and 4 times over. You could have paid every person
Mm-hmm.
a certain amount of money to be like, here you go,
Mm-hmm.
bam. Now, what they did with it is their business.
That's right.
Their business, but you owe it to them. But the fact that you would sit there and go, oh, well, you know, these people that have been separated from their families, we're going to give them X amount of money. I don't remember the exact amount, but I know it's in the hundreds of
450.
thousands. I know it's in the hundreds of thousands.
Thousands.
You're going to give
Mm-hmm.
them that money because they were separated from their families. A lot of these parents will never be reunited with their children because their children were too young. They were already probably adopted by some other family on the black market.
Well, the only way that they could ever track them down is just by DNA. That's the only thing.
Right.
But I'm sure that they didn't even track where they were going. Because remember, as they were coming in, they were busting them out.
They were busting them
across
out.
the country.
Yeah, they were all across the country. So they didn't even know where they were going. But the point of me saying that is you would do that now in modern day when for umpteen hundreds of years, this same thing has happened to Black people. Mm-hmm. Families were torn apart,
murdered,
and all types of business. And, you know, we're still having a discussion on, well, what is that going to do? How about we just give it to an educational fund? How about no, dumbass, because put it in educational fund and then go, well, then you can go to school. Okay, how many people will be able to get into this school? Because you're going to have requirements in order for a person to get into the school to gain education, correct? It's the same way you do even with regular schooling. You have to take some sort of classes to get to this level of higher education. You have to either then take an SAT or a graduate test or some sort of thing to kind of go on to that next level. So to say, oh, we're just going to put this in this fund and everybody's going to be able to have an education, bullshit. Just give the people the money. Let them decide on what they want to do with this money that belongs to them. If you can give it to everybody else, you can give it to them, but you're not going to, because it helps in the larger demographic to keep you over here and never mobilizing. We're all people that have been oppressed by this system, because the people will go, well, y'all may have been oppressed, but not us. Look, we able to get this.
Oh no.
Right. We're able
to. It works. It works just like this book I'm reading called The Caste. It's talking about discussing the caste systems.
Right.
You know, from the one from the Germans, what they did to the Jews, the one that's presently going on with the Indians over in India, and our caste system here that we never talk about. And that's the game plan. That's how you always keep one subordinate class of people and one so-called superior.
Yeah. Well, it helps. You know what I'm saying? It helps. You look at the voting demographic. We're sitting up here talking about immigrants, whether they're here legally or illegally, when they actually obtain their paperwork and stuff where they can vote. They're actually voting Republican because they don't even see they could be working dead-end jobs and working those jobs that we necessarily would not, but still see themselves as different, and they value a lot of the things that the Republicans value because that is the model that is set for them to aspire to be. So of course you would think that. Of course you wouldn't look at, well, I'm working these jobs and I'm not really getting paid. And some of the jobs that I'm working, I'm getting paid under the table by the same folks that are saying, hey, vote for us because we, talk about family values and we honor this and we honor that, but yet they're paying you under the table for less than what you're worth.
Yeah.
So I just find it to be totally ridiculous.
Now, the thing that gets me is on these reparations for these immigrants that were fleeing a country for political and other reasons.
Right.
Okay. Now, what do you think is going to happen with that money? It's going to leave the country because The amount of money you're looking at, people that probably make what, $2 or $3 a day,
This is what I'm saying. To go back to their country, to take this money to go back to their country and then live like, okay, now I can live. Now I don't have to run, because now I can afford to stay in my native land with this money, flip it 2 times over, and be good. Yeah. I mean, I guess in a sense, that's probably what they're thinking too. If they give them this money, they'll be able to go back and afford to live, and they won't be sitting on the border. But hey, how about the people that's already lived here? How about the motherfuckers that have built this place that we call America, that you still don't show reference to, even down to the Mother Fletcher and her brother, who were the only, well, 2, I think it's a third person, survivors of the Tulsa massacre. They only got money.
Yes, three of them.
They only got money because of the pressure that people received. Like, they didn't get paid, they didn't get any type of money, and then most of that came from other groups putting together funds and other things. So it didn't come from, oh, here's the government saying I'm sorry. It was like, okay, well, the state threw some money together, some other private entities threw some money together, some celebrities threw some money together, and then they were able to send up, like an offering of, like, I think it's $200,000 or so. But I mean, is that enough? Her whole family was killed. She was only able to hold on to her brother.
Well, what it boils down to is if you whitewash history and make it all disappear, you won't have to do anything.
But this is it. Right. But this is where we're headed, and when we have these discussions of, oh, we don't want to talk about critical race theory, or even like we talked about last week.
It's like, you stupid bastards. We keep telling you the kids aren't learning that shit in school.
Right.
It's like, how many fucking times you got to tell them?
Connor Lincoln's Rice talking about, I don't want white kids to feel Connor Lincoln's Rice.
You know what? I almost said something else. Cunt. But anyway,
I don't want white kids to feel bad about it, and it's just like,
well, what about black kids?
What about the black
kids? They still hear this stuff that goes on.
Will open up history books, and you see the lynchings. You see the white people standing under bodies. With
it was like a Sunday picnic. You see the motherfuckers? They were dressed up in ties
under bodies
on a Sunday.
Yeah,
coming from church.
So crazy. So crazy.
The whole Christian thing, all right?
But they Christians. White Jesus.
Praise the Lord.
Right. So moving right
say
along,
white Jesus.
Yeah.
The blonde one up on the wall.
White Jesus with the straight hair. Okay. So in other news too, America's food safety system has failed to stop salmonella epidemic. So of course, during this whole
we can't eat chicken.
And I'm about to die. I'm about to be vegan again.
You just jumped off the wagon? You back on meat?
No,
I mean, you back on meat. not meat.
You know what?
You back on poultry?
Just not doing this with you. So anyway, they claim it's due to, of course, the shortage of workers due to the pandemic, having to concise and chop down working people. I call BS. I call just.
You know what? You're going to have so many places claiming that there's a shortage, and there actually isn't. They just want to push up the price.
That's it. You want to cause more of a supply and demand. If there's less of a supply but more of a demand, that's more money, and you could sit back like a fat rat, because a lot of these companies have discovered during this whole pandemic that a lot of these other places, like the Walmarts and the CVS's and all these other, made billions of dollars, okay, just from saying, oh, we need hand sanitizers and masks. Okay.
Yep.
We're open. We got them by the gallons and jugs. They over in India putting together masks with their feet and shit, and making hand sanitizer out of God knows what, and bringing it over here, and we're just loving it up because, we're so fearful of, oh my God. But these are the same people that, just whatever. Then I don't want to wear masks. And I'm over it. I'm over it all. I'm over everybody.
Good evening, everybody who's coming in.
Hey, what's going on?
I know you fell off the wagon, boy.
Huh? No, I mean, it's been a while since I've been eating chicken and stuff back for a while. I just don't eat beef and pork, but
I eats the swine. I don't do beef.
No, I don't do. I don't do
Oh, you know what the fuck you missing, man?
Oh,
Bacon.
I do.
Bacon.
Yes,
Oh God.
I was a kid that would
orgasm for the mouth, boy.
Bacon and
You
fat
can't fake that
nobody's
shit.
eating.
That's some good shit. I don't care if it is clogging my arteries. That's some good ass shit.
No, thank you.
I like food with flavor. I don't want to just look pretty and just be laying there on my plate waiting for me.
No, thank you.
Fell off the wagon.
So,
consuming the bird. Okay.
Yeah, no, I can't. I eat it all. Well, Jeff, you can have it all. I don't do it. I love beef. Rebel.
Well, yeah, we know you do.
Right. Well, you're talking about you or your snooch. Which one?
Yeah.
Which one? Confirm. So anyway, moving right along from that. Okay, so we'll talk about this. All right, doxing the wrong person. I know you sent me that, and I chuckled a little bit. So yeah, there's an article. There was 2 articles actually that was talking about searching digital footprints that you leave behind. Although a lot of people just think, oh, it's just harmless. They just doing a little search and wham, bam, bam, nobody gets hurt. Know that everything has a footprint, a mark, and an address. And if the person really wants to turn up the heat, all they got to do is track it. And it tracks right back to you and your personal computer and your address where you live.
Or your cell phone. Or your tablet.
Or your tablet. Or your Obama phone. Or your hot phone. Or whatever it is you think.
They got Obama phones out there.
Yeah. Or whatever it is you think you're using that you think nobody can discover who you are. No, they can. So, and it's been a growing thing, not only for places like YouTube, but other places as well. People have doxed. People even doxed during employment. If you have ever encountered the WhatsApp, a lot of people have had people go over there, like said, oh, there's some employment, I need you to just fill out this information. I sent it to your I texted to you the WhatsApp, and people will fill out this information thinking that they're filling out a job application, and it's really just to dox all the information and then utilize it to either, steal credit or whatever. It's free.
Even to send you ads.
Sorry?
Even to send you, just send you ads, revenue. Right. You wonder why certain ads are kind of tailored to, your interest and what you look at. That's how you can look at something on your computer screen, and you can have an advertisement on your phone. Right. Even, I would say the artist, otherwise known as Facebook, now walking around like Prince, is changing their name because, of course, they got caught in dirty shit. So now they're trying to clean their image by starting with a new name and, starting up something new. It's still the same thing.
But it's still dirty. I mean, Facebook was in on the bullshit of making sure either Trump was reelected and getting money from Russian oligarchs, which are Russian wealthy people, business people, who have ties with Vladimir Putin and others, to make sure to keep this whole fear mongering, this one don't care about black folks, and he trying to kill these people over here, and all this other kind of stuff that was going rampant through Facebook. They were making buku money off of it.
Just remember, as long as you keep up the confusion,
right,
you can do anything you want. Because nobody's paying attention to you.
You sure can. They remove all my posts on Trump. Yeah, they would. I mean, even down to here. I mean, I was going back monetizing a lot of my videos, and some of them they wouldn't monetize, especially the ones where we was talking about real stuff, and then other ones they were like limited, which perfectly fine. I mean, it is what it is. I do it because I care about what I do. I care about the enlightening and educating my people. I care about the things y'all bring to me, because we learn from each other. And of course there will be occasions where I will step out and have to get back in line. But overall, it's really about making sure that we are all educated, informed to make the right decisions that are best for us, and not waiting for the Messiah, the white Jesus, the this one, to that one, to bring us out of this Egyptian kind of slavery that we've been in forever.
Yeah, I got rid of Facebook a long time ago. There were people I just didn't want to fuck with no more. I told you, boy, I have no problems with that. It's like, oh no, we're not going to be doing this.
Right. No, I get it. It happens sometimes. It happens,
and it was the best thing.
It can be. It can
the
be.
Best thing.
I talked about that. I think that was it. I think I covered everything I was going to cover real quick. Was there something else? Nope. Jesse Fallen, got it.
Remember about Abbott, right? Remember, I was telling you that, in one of the articles that you had, him going after first was abortion, and now it's books in school, and it's not just not Toni Morrison, but that one book that I was telling you about, called Caste. No. That's on the list. But all the books that were listed, they had a list of several books already that they want to get rid of.
Yeah, I was totally pissed because I love Toni Morrison, as you can tell from one of my intros. She is in there, but they're going after her book Sula. They're going after The Bluest Eye again because white folks feel like it is making them feel guilty about oppression, about the way they treated people of color during that time and before. But the issue is that they're still doing it. So then,
and that's why they feel guilty. Right. If you didn't do it, why would you feel guilty?
I just don't understand.
I don't understand it. You didn't physically whip the slave.
Right. You didn't physically whip the slave, but right now at this present time, you are the one kind of holding the whip.
And you've reaped the benefit.
Right. And you utilize it when you do things like calling the police on people because you see them in your area, in your neighborhood.
I just saw a black man walk by.
And you
feel the fucking like mailman, you stupid bitch.
And you feel like they
should. You're not gonna get no mail.
Or you see the UPS man car doing a delivery, and you want to go over there and question him. Ask him, well, what is he doing here? Because people have been getting their deliveries taken, but he's working for.
Bitch, it was probably you following the delivery man.
Right. So I mean, it's ridiculous. Now, don't get me wrong. The Amazon guy who had the white woman in the thing and got exposed because
they got a tight schedule. Anytime they're peeing in bottles.
Well, I mean, and at the end of the day, though, the messed up part about that is a lot of the reason why you see so many Amazon trucks and stuff everywhere, because you can actually do that yourself. It's like $10,000. You purchase the van.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people go for it.
I'm not sure. I think some people did.
Because a lot of them were doing it out of their cars at one time, but $10,000 isn't enough to start your own.
Right. It's like you partner up, and then you get like a piece.
You become a contractor, and then that way they don't have to cover you for taxes and things like that.
That's what I wonder about the person who got in a little kerfuffle with the girl in the back.
Whether he was on his if he's on his time, if that's one of his perks. Well, he was on his lunch break.
No, he wasn't on his lunch break.
He was breaking though.
He was delivering a package.
I don't know, but I went with all them fruit juices on my packages.
He was delivering a prime package, but it wasn't a prime package that I think somebody ordered. But I definitely they fired him though. So but he has been targeting a lot of liberal books. He's been targeting a lot of alphabet books, meaning LGBT friendly or LGBT.
We just called them the children back in my day. Everybody was the children.
The children?
The children. The children. Everybody, child of God, the children. Everybody was just the children. We weren't They weren't alphabetical and all the rest of that other stuff.
Okay.
Because every time I turn around, they always add another damn letter or number.
Well, how white folks are. They have to always take something and then quote unquote make it better and expound on it to a great deal where everybody.
God damn! Why don't you say the alphabet?
But
Because damn near all 26 letters.
But at the end of the day, it's all to make sure that they all feel comfortable about themselves and how they walk.
Well, you know,
this world.
It's always about them.
Yeah,
and how they feel and how it affects them.
It is all the time, and we're not supposed to care that, we're the ones affected by the things that they do, as they still are so sensitive on the fact that, yeah, you did the shit, you continue to do the shit, just, like, live in it, face up to it, stand in it, be a man, be a woman, and just stand in the fact that you with the shits, you are with the shits. And no, I'm not.
Because if you weren't in it, you wouldn't be, it wouldn't phase you like that.
Right.
You can separate it.
Right. And you would actually be part of the solution, like checking your own people to be like, hey, no, this is wrong. We need to be changing this. We need to be really making a change. And if that means sometimes you got to stand out and be the person in the crowd that, Becky Sue doesn't invite anymore to the Tupperware things, or
I don't want to go to that bitch house anyway. That nasty ass macaroni and cheese.
It's so weird. Really, is she making macaroni and cheese? I doubt it. It's probably coming out the can. Although certain places, the Chick-fil-A, I've heard, I haven't had it yet, but I've heard the macaroni and cheese is good. But I'll pass. I ain't gonna.
You boycott Chick-fil-A?
I don't really go there. I never really did. I never really did.
It's not like there's a lot of around here.
Here. Yeah.
If it ain't chicken,
here,
you say yes, none there. What do you have?
No, they're here. No, there are a lot here. You would think that you would think that they have just discovered chicken, like maybe in the last 5 to 10 years, because it'd be like pack. You're like, what? A kid's eating free today? What the fuck is going on? That line never stops. It never stops. I never seen a Chick-fil-A where I was like, oh, there's no line. Let me just go. No, always line. Very overrated. I agree.
Yeah.
But when white folks discover something, they act like, oh, look what we discovered. Fried whole chicken. Ooh, it's so great. And we're going to put a pickle on it and give you some sweet tea and make you feel
good.
Feel good. Great. It's been there. But yeah.
Gifted. So, what did I say, Gifted? It was about chicken. I like chicken.
Chick-fil-A. Yeah, pretty much.
I do like their fries. Their wedge fries or whatever they are. Waffle fries or whatever they're called.
Sometimes. But let's see. Other than that, before we lighten up and just get into what you call it, I do want to touch on this is, of course, the mental wellness part of it. Prayers definitely go out to that those young children who had to deal with being in the house with their deceased
brother, that was horrible,
for so long. Just ridiculous. In Texas, I know we talked about it a little bit last week, but the more that this story comes out and the things that these children had to endure alone, being there as the mother and her boyfriend, I guess, because I don't know.
Yeah, that was her boyfriend.
Father of any of the children.
White guy, he looked crazy too.
Yeah, crazy as a road lizard, just nutback crazy.
I never heard that one before, as a road lizard.
Oh yeah, that was my thing. That was my was it 2019? That was my 2019. Everything and everybody was crazy as a road lizard. Yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, when we get into these relationships and we lose ourselves, it just made me think of that. When we get into these relationships and to please somebody else, we lose sense of ourselves and do whatever it takes. And I'm not, this is kind of stepping away from that, but just taking a piece of that situation and just coming to a place where always remember yourself. Always remember yourself and be true to yourself. And if whomever you are dating or interested in or wanting to build a life with, if they don't see you for you and want to grow with you as you are, then you ain't with the right person. And I think a lot of times we get so there's this thing of you got to have relationship, you got to have kids, you got to be with with somebody because you're getting too old and don't nobody want no old person and don't nobody want to be like, and you end up with these relationships and things to where, sometimes people don't want you because you have baggage, as in, i.e., other children, and to then have you separate yourself from your kids. A mother, separate yourself from your kids with your kids stay in a whole nother apartment than you.
Well, she wasn't necessarily right in the head either.
No, that is true.
There was a problem.
Yeah, that is
I wish
true.
the family would have kept a tighter rein.
Right. But I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that part too. So when families know, and a lot of times we know, and we can cut the shit, and you can placate, and we know when you got Uncle Tommy, which is somebody who Lulu sitting in the back room, or when you got,
I got one.
I got a few of these crazy motherfuckers, but I know they crazy, and I don't play with them, and we don't play and act like you all right in the head. Nope, it's hello, hi, and go on about your business. I don't want to hear no shit. Don't even, we're not going there. We kind of pacify these things instead of just treating them how they, what it is. You allow this woman to kind of, do and have these kids, and knowing damn well she may not be all that suitable to raise them. And instead of some of you all taking notice and going, hey, you know what, we're gonna take these kids because that's the best thing for them. You kind of sit back and maybe talk about it, and you may help here and there, but you don't really get involved. And then something like this happens, and then everybody wants to go, well, we knew it wasn't right. We was trying to get the kids. No, you weren't trying hard enough. Because if you were really trying hard enough, you would have got them damn kids.
Oh, you'd have got them.
You would have got them. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that we do ourselves a disservice by not truly paying attention to people, understanding that when people have problems, period. And we try to always, champion the underdog and not, all people beating up on this person, so I'm going to stand in the gap for this person. If the person is fucking batshit, they're batshit. And there's nothing, there's no kind of encouragement that you're going to do to push them out of that until they decide that they want to change. And that either means, taking medication or going to program, sitting in a meeting, doing something to then better themselves so they can be a productive citizen. Other than that, you're wasting your time.
Yeah. Even if you don't do anything but get the children
right,
like on the weekend, make it an every weekend thing. You could do subtle believe me, you could do subtle things.
Right.
Where you keep close eye and close attachment to what's going on, especially when you have, because like I said, we all have one.
Yeah, we
all have it.
Right, we all have. Yeah, unfortunately.
And listen, and again, like I say every week, listen to the kids. Yeah. Listen to the kids.
They are telling you, and I'm sure, a lot of times we sit here and go, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Or, oh, no, listen to these kids. We need to stop acting like, the kids don't know what they're talking about. They know exactly what they're talking about because they're telling you. And instead of us, quickly dismissing what the children are saying, just listen. A lot of times all these things could be avoided if you just listen. Even when, the first thing when people start saying, well, what was social services doing? Oh, we're just so swamped because of COVID and all this other kind of stuff. So you mean to tell me you didn't get no calls from any of the neighbors about what was going on?
I'm trying to figure out, how do you have a body?
I'm not buying it.
Have you ever smelled a body?
Yes. Quick story. My one of my neighbors back home in New York years ago, they were getting their whole backyard and the driveway repaved. And my mother was like, "Oh, I want to do that. I want to do that. Oh my gosh!" So she went over there talking, to the neighbor and like, "How much was it?" And it's like, "I want to do mine." Oh my gosh! Come to find out that the people did the backyard and the entire driveway. Then later, like a couple days later, the police came and swarmed the whole place. Why was he doing? He was doing green cards for people. And this one lady who paid for her green card and never got it, he killed her and then buried her ass in the backyard and then hired the people to come and cement over it. And when you're cementing, you have to dig further. So they dug and they hit it. And
there she was.
All they did was cement over her ass and got their money and then called the police.
Damn.
Yep. And so when they unearthed her, the whole block was lit.
It was lit. Yeah.
A dead body, there ain't no mistaking that smell. There ain't no potpourri, ain't no.
Yeah, it's one of those odd. You think it's in the house,
yeah,
but then you go outside and it's like, oh no, this shit is everywhere. Right. What is it?
Yes,
it's rough, and that's the thing that got me. And these kids were in the apartment with the sibling.
With the sibling. Yeah.
But I want to know. I'm sure that these kids were probably back in school by now.
Right.
Why hasn't school called up? Find out what was going on. If they were doing home learning, why haven't they logged on to do what they were supposed to do?
Yeah, Tanari, my mother was so like, she was shocked, but then she was on her like Perry Mason type thing.
Was she just like, never mind?
Right.
I would have just said, "Oh,
they had arrested the man," and she was like, "Oh my God, I was back there. He was just talking to me and showing me everything." And oh my God,
now was he was the one that was doing the work?
No, hired a company.
But he had hired a company.
Yeah, he had hired a company.
Oh, okay. So if he was doing the work, I would have said, "Oh shit, I've been mad. He tore my shit up."
Right. So the company did the work, and then they came back after a while and was like, "You know what? We'll do it." But I'll be right back. All right.
Yeah, that's crazy though. I want to know where how come the school had contacted them. But to be in that apartment, those kids are messed up for the rest of their lives. They will definitely need psychiatric help. That is just really crazy. But like I said, she was kind of nuts anyway, and then the boyfriend was nuts too. I want to hear what the autopsy report.
Of what he
was he actually beaten to death, or he was autistic.
Oh, was he? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, he was autistic, so he was nonverbal. Wow. See, that was the whole thing.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that makes it even worse. Ooh, that's crazy.
But you know what? I used to kind of laugh at my grandmother. She would always say, "Don't be bringing no men's around. Don't bring no strange men's around your children. And they mean them no good."
Yeah.
And you got to.
Yeah, but that comes from that mindset of needing to be in a relationship and that you got to be with somebody and be married or
he was cute.
And it's just people, they'll go to any extreme to want to be accepted, to want to be a part of something. Hey, sometimes learn to rock by yourself. It's okay. Get to know yourself. Mm-hmm. Get to know yourself.
And maybe you'll understand the reason why you pick the people that you do.
Right.
You keep picking the same sorry ass motherfuckers. Right.
Something's wrong with you.
I think it's just you.
Yeah, right. Like if you keep picking the same sorry motherfuckers, ding, 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 You're sorry. Something's wrong
Yeah,
with you.
there's
You need
something
to
wrong with you.
take a chill, sit back and kind of
And don't bring them around your kids. Don't bring them around your kids.
no.
You know.
No. And the person, whomever, male, female, whatever, should respect that. It should at least respect
Look,
that until you come to a place where they trust you enough to be around there and to introduce to their children,
to their
because
children.
it should be that. It should be that they are protecting their child at all costs, and you are. Granted, you may be building a relationship with them, but you're still a foreign thing to their child, and they're going to protect their child against anything until they feel comfortable. And that's the way it should be. And you should respect that. And even if you happen to pop up and the kid is there, hey, wait outside. Don't come in there to, hey, what up, little man? Don't even start that. Don't even start that.
Look, when I was dating my wife, I didn't meet the kids till like 8 or 9 months later.
Right.
First of all, I didn't want to meet the kids. I'm dating you. I don't want to meet you. I don't want to meet your kids. Right. All right, for all that. It's like, and I would see him. I say, "Hey, how y'all doing? Right. Okay, go away." I don't want. It's just too much right now. But then later on, it was fine. But sheesh, some of these people, they just throw them right in there.
That's it. Right.
And you don't know who you're getting.
Right.
You don't
First
know who
date,
you
and
get.
then they be sitting up there talking about something. That's not the same guy from last week. You know what? Just get the hell out of here. It's just, be more careful. Just really, please be more careful. You never know who's out here, and
stranger danger. And you inviting them into your home.
Stranger danger could be your own relative, and that part is crazy. When stranger danger could be your own goddamn mother or your father. I think those parts are crazy too, and that's when other family members, you need to step in. The father ain't wrapped too tight, or the mother ain't wrapped too tight. Ain't no sit around waiting for something to pop off and go crazy. Yes, sometimes you don't want to get involved and do the whole tug of war in the courts with all that, but at the end of the day, if it's about protecting that child, then do what you need to do to protect that child or those children. Hopefully that person will come around when they clean up and get their shit together to realize that you were doing it in the best.
Come to the realization too that sometimes they may not.
Right. And then, sometimes they may not, to discover that, hey, they weren't the best fit for the parent. But I think the, family needs to step in and actually do something, because it's crazy. It's crazy. We don't need any more of these horrible stories of innocent children losing their lives to people who don't want to be parents or considerable adults or anything of that nature.
Now, can you see that going on in Texas? You have all these women that
that happened in Texas. Shit. That happened in Texas.
Yeah, that happened in Texas. I mean, but on a grander scale, you'll see it more.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
But that morning after pill, or get some money to go to the next state.
Was it
down there in Texas?
Other pill, was it E2, C2?
The C something else pill.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That abortion pill.
You know what I say? Swallow. No. Anyway.
Put it in a napkin. I don't know what to tell you.
Too much.
It's just crazy. Invest in some dental dam or something, some kind of blockage.
You say spray the walls.
It depends on what you sprayed it with.
Yeah, that's true.
Goodness gracious. But anyway, on a lighter note.
Have you been watching the Virginia? The gubernatorial for Virginia?
No, because it makes me nervous. I have, but it makes me nervous. It's really close.
You think it's white lash?
Yeah, I mean, of course it is, because everything is. When it's just this simple. I mean, I've worked in corporate spaces enough to where I've always been the same way I am. Very opinionated. Oh, hell no, we're not. This is what I'm going to do. This is what you're going to do. And the minute they feel like I've overstepped, and these are people that have worked under me, and they feel like, oh, he's overstepped, and they feel like they can then use their privilege to go above me to then complain about something I've done.
Yeah.
It's always that. And I really have to sit back and be like, seriously? Like, was your white privilege hurt? Was your white feelings hurt that bad?
Yeah, they were crying on the inside.
Right.
And I say, cry, bitch, cry.
Right. So a lot of times, that's why I say that we need to really mobilize and vote. We don't need to nitpick about the nuances of, well, we're not getting this, or they won't do this, or they won't do that, or we don't even have the power to say, you know what, I'm gonna sit this one out. We don't have it. We don't have it. We are losing even the little slither of political power that we have daily. So we don't have the luxury to sit back and decline on being a participant in any election. We really don't. I mean, let them tell you what they want and us full of smoke up your ass, but we do not. You got Latinos rising up like nobody's business because they out here having babies and throwing them in here and letting them stay and go to school, and then they be like, well, they in here now, what are you gonna do, send them back? And then we're sitting up there talking about the Dream Act and all this stuff, but these are people that can vote. So now they're coming up to be neck and neck with some of the majority, especially with voting, which is why, if you notice, when they're doing a lot of canvassing, they're going around other places. They ain't even worried about, neighborhoods where you and I live. They're going out to places where they know there's some Latinos out there, there's some Mexicans out there. Let's go. Let's eat some tacos and do all this kind of craziness where you like, y'all look crazy, but they're doing it, and they're doing it for a reason. It's just like the census. You did send me this article, and this is the last thing I know. I got right back into it, but it just brought to me this article where they were talking about the census, how they discounted a lot of Black people.
How did you let me forget that? And for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know what? Because when I click off, when I go down the list and I know I click something, it does like a little thing where I would have to like click it to refresh. So that's probably why I didn't see it. So when you sent it, okay. But yeah, so in the census that we just recently did, they were discounting a lot of the Black communities. Now, this is for two reasons. So they can keep a lot of the voting blocks the way that they are. Because if they exclude and say, well, there's not many Black people here, they can get more Republican representatives. They can knock a lot of the voting blocks out. So when you're thinking, okay, this is a Republican county, this is a Democratic county, I'm good. Oh, no, not so much, because they cut that in half, and half that's now Republican. And you're like, what the hell? But you wouldn't know these things unless you were paying attention. And the Republicans have been doing this while Trump was in office, while Biden is taking a nap. They are still working. So while we're sitting here talking about, oh, let's just do this together and bipartisanship, bullshit. The Republicans are making this. You talking about New World Order? That's exactly what they're doing. Okay. Yeah. And we can sit around and play dumb if you want to, but it's really.
You still better take your ass out there and vote.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what it boils down to. Don't let them discourage you.
Yeah, I'm not saying who you should vote for. I'm just saying, look at the candidates, look at their platforms, and if it fits your interest, then that's where
your interest.
Vote your interest. Stop voting because this one vote that way, this one vote that way, you're gonna vote that way. No, if it happens to be different, so be it. But let it be stuff that really is in your interest, not because, oh, you heard this one don't like, this one or that one incarcerated a lot of Black folks. Do your research. Because if sometimes you do your research, the person you about to put your vote in for, because you're thinking, oh, well, this person has incarcerated a lot of Black folks, and if you did your research well enough, that other person that you voted for too did the same damn thing.
Yeah,
it's just that it's not politicized because they're not a person of color. They just a white person, so they're not going to sit there and go down. Well, they incarcerated a lot of black people because that's not their focus. They're looking at anybody who is black and of color. Well, what have you done to your community? Ooh, look what they did to your community. They incarcerated all these people. So did that white person before them.
Mm-hmm.
And hell, again, here we go with the pacifying. Sometimes, some people, you deserve to go to jail. Not saying everybody did, but sometimes some people do. Junebug deserved to go to jail. He hit up 20.
No, he should have been smarter. He shouldn't have got caught. Motherfuckers get loud and they get comfortable.
Right.
Then they get sloppy.
Right.
They get sloppy. You out here doing whatever it is you want to do.
You all on Facebook is bragging about money. It's like, yeah, you deserve to get in jail. That's because you were being stupid. So
you were being dumb.
Yeah. Just really pay attention.
You should put that money in your mama's bank account.
Yeah, right.
and kept on driving that old raggedy car.
That's it. And playing it off, right? You know what I'm saying? Playing it off.
At least bury the shit in your backyard. They'll never get it.
Oh, please don't. Well, if you bury it in your backyard, you do your own paving. Okay, do not hire a company to do paving because you will get fucked up. Trust me. I know from experience. That thing, it was like watching CSI. It was really crazy. That's before all those Law and Order shows. It was
they came out, did the big old mobile home with the lights and everything.
Light, that. It was
they digging in the yard.
Digging, pulling shit out. They were just doing all types of stuff. It was crazy. It was really.
Has she been there a while? How long? Or was she pretty fresh?
No, she had been there for a while. So
what did he do? He forget
to light up the block that she did. No, what he did was he thought that he dug her deep enough,
and they went deeper.
They went because when you do that, when you do repaving, they go deeper.
Yeah.
He thought he went deep enough, and they was like, "No, we need to go deeper." And when they did, they said, "Oh, there's a body down there. Fuck that shit. Put the cement over that bitch and keep going." And get that money and roll out. I'm telling you, they literally finished that job. Even when they finished, my mom went back there again. Like, oh, they really did a good job. Got there, he gave the card or whatever. And she's like, I'm going to call them. And I think a couple days later, police came and SWAT cars and all this other stuff came. And we were like, the people on my block were like, oh my God, what's going on? You got the couple ghetto people and go, not on my neighborhood. It's like, girl, please sit down.
Yeah, they were all up in there.
But you're right. But everybody was kind of very taken because it was like, and granted, people talk about New York, but there are parts of New York that's not like, you ain't gotta clutch yourself, you ain't gotta be all worried to, walk the streets like not. It's not like that. Just like anywhere else.
Yeah, it's like around here.
Yeah, right.
I didn't tell you I had a damn raccoon on my porch last night. I didn't know what the fuck that thing was. My cameras picked that shit up. I was like, what the fuck is that? I was like, oh no, that's not a cat. I was like, damn, first I looked at it, I was like, damn, that's a fat ass cat. And I looked, I was like, oh no, it got circles and shit. And thumbs. I was like, oh no.
Somebody from YouTube paid you a visit. Oh God. But anyway, see, that's how that doctor shit don't work. Somebody from YouTube paid you a visit. But anyway, yeah, that shit was so cool. I never forget that.
You are not funny.
I was just saying. You shouldn't be people shit out there.
I saw you. I saw you.
I seen you. There is this movie though on Netflix that's supposed to come out tonight. I think midnight tonight. I just saw a preview of it while I was working. It had a few black stars in it that I was like, oh, it's interesting. Well, and of course my phone won't populate it so I can see it right now. But I don't know. But I did see the preview for it. It's supposed to drop at midnight tonight. But hopefully I'll check it out. I'll get it to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, shoot me
Yeah.
What it
Um,
is.
but let's see, any other movies I see? No, I know.
Oh, Lost in Space. The final season's supposed to come out on Netflix next month. Next month.
I never watched that.
You didn't like the new one?
I was never really into that.
Oh,
Never really into
I love
that.
that sci-fi
That's
shit.
your generation. That's your people. As you like to tell me all the time, there's your people.
No, and these
Will
are definite.
Robinson, all that Will
These are
Robinson.
definitely yours.
No, all that Will Robinson shit. That's your generation. I know nothing
Hey,
about.
come to find, they ain't had no black people back in them
They
days.
never do have no black people back.
Back in the days, they didn't have any. I didn't think we were gonna ever get into space.
Well,
The only one we saw was Aurora off of Star Trek.
Right. And
But
even her was limited. But
Huh?
I say even her thing was limited until what? Didn't she kiss?
Oh yeah, she kissed Kirk, but that was. But you know what? That wasn't the first interracial kiss. I can't remember. It was another.
It wasn't the first interracial kiss, but I believe that was the one
for
that
a TV show.
Yeah, that was the one actually for the TV show, and then it got so much negative thing that they really was thinking about, chopping it up. Yeah, chopping up the whole episode. It was crazy.
Yeah, but we was nowheres in the future back then.
Right. I don't know. Let's see. Anything else? No, I don't think. Well, I have been watching Queen Sugar, of course, because that is my show, and I'm so mad at Ralph Angel. Like
what did he do stupid?
He was trying to. I mean, part of me is mad, but part of me understood. Like he was trying to really keep the family farm afloat, and due to COVID, because of course their storyline is riding along with COVID. So, bills were due. The farm bills were due. The crop had been contaminated, so he couldn't really do anything. So one of his hustle boy cellmates that he was in jail with came to him with a proposition to make some money. He went along with it. Of course, it was a setup. After about 2 pays, the second time, they got enough footage of him alone because the dude that got him, the dude that he introduced him to it, of course he was in on it. And all the Landrys wanted to do, which is the white landowners who was really trying to take this farmland for the longest.
For the longest time, yeah.
Even though they're intertwined, because I think they're like cousins or brothers and sisters, some shit like that. Like their father slept with one of the slaves, which happens to come from their family, so they're intertwined like that, almost like the Jeffersons. I mean Thomas and his raping ass. So
I thought you were talking about George and Wheezy.
Well, I just wanted to clarify because some people would be like, "Is he talking about George?" No, I'm not talking about George. So that happened, and then of course the Landry owner was like, "Yeah, we got him. So this is what you're gonna do. You don't have any leverage anymore to hold over my head. I want the land." So I don't know what the family is going to do. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But it was interesting. Hey, y'all tripping out. Hey, guys watching from the shop floor.
Hey, Pink.
Hey, Pink, how are you? Hey, White Carter girl, how are you? Welcome. Everybody, please, if you just came in or if you came in before and you didn't hit the like button, please hit the like button. It'll keep, me in a different space and algorithm. Thank you for your support. Definitely.
We thought we were far away.
Right. We thought we were far away from the clinches, but apparently, apparently, the holidays is coming, so you got to pick on some people. Perfectly fine. Just know that you pick up over here, it won't be so quiet. Okay. And yeah. So
hey, Patty Duke.
Hey, Patty.
Patty. What's your name, girl?
Nice to see you. Yeah, but that's about it. I think that's about it. I got
Did I
no.
send you the link about there's a new cancer screening that's supposed to diagnose like 50? It's like a new blood test.
You know, I don't know if you sent me that, but I did see a commercial about something like that. Like you can take your own blood test or whatever, and they do all these screenings.
It's
Like
like
you
two
do
vial, like they take like 2 vials of blood or whatever, and they can run all these screenings and screen all these to diagnose whether you have all of these. I had just seen it this morning. I thought I had sent it to you. Oh,
no,
excuse me
I
for a
did.
minute. Patty.
You're so stupid. I did see a commercial with something about like pricking your finger or some kind of taking blood, and you send it away, and then they do all these tests.
Yeah,
And check.
they're doing all that stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Swab your mouth and
right.
all the rest of that kind of stuff.
I mean, I did the ancestry thing, and that was interesting.
How'd that come out?
Who
are you?
I am like 30% African. Well, like yeah, like 30-something% African, and like 20-some odd percent European Welsh-ish, like over there, which I kind of knew that just from my mother's side family history. And everything else is like a little bit of Native American, a little bit of everything, but everything else is those two are the dominant parts. The African part, there's a couple of pieces in there that's like different parts of Africa, which I was like, oh, okay, that'd be cool. And so I was like, oh, why don't you just go visit? Like, go visit and say what? Go visit, do what? Hey,
like, yeah, you show up with somebody doing cousin,
right? Give me your money.
Yeah,
I don't want that.
Teach me the family business, how to scam Americans.
Right. Oh my God. I'm so tired of that. I really, really am. I'm so tired of like, bro, we over here trying to make it just like you. Like, please rob them. Don't rob us.
Yeah.
Rob us. Rob them.
Don't you have a phone book?
Right.
This is white people on it.
Right. It's called the white pages.
Yes, literally the white pages.
Literally, use it. Scam them motherfuckers. You scamming me? Well,
yeah. Stop calling me.
Stop trying to send me text messages talking about some you have a curse on you? I don't know. And if I did, I'll work with it. Like we can remove it. All you got to
have a curse on you. That's a good one. I have yet to hear that one.
I got that one. I got oh, have you heard about this new program? Like these kind of loan assistance programs? Sure have. Not interested. Kind of some people just come flat out and say that they don't have no money or whatever. And it's just like, oh, yeah. But there's
me neither.
Right. There's programs like UNICEF and other programs that can help you. I can definitely hook you up with links and information. So I just send a whole bunch of information. Then they wind up blocking me, but it's okay.
You are horrible. Because you actually said that.
Yes, because it's like, why you asking me?
It's like, this motherfucker's actually sending me this shit.
Right. Like,
look at it. Get Bumbo. Come look at this shit. This crazy ass American sending me all this shit. What am I supposed to fucking do with all of this?
Yeah, either that, and then because I do have a Facebook page just for the channel, so a lot of people do call, and I'm like, yo, why you call? Who calls people? Like, do not call me. Don't call me. Don't call. Don't hit that button and go and ring. Don't do that because I don't answer.
That sounds like my landline. I don't even know why. I know why I have one because it came with the package for cable.
Yeah, that one. But yeah, don't do that.
That is not worth.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. So, any questions, thoughts, comments, or concerns from the audience? I know I've been sitting here rambling, running my whole mouth the whole time. But if you want to, you don't have to show your face or anything like that. But you better not show no other things. But if you have any questions, comments,
especially if you haven't used Duke's moisturizer.
Yeah, we don't need to see no
We don't
bones.
hear any dry, nothing dry, nothing ashy, nothing white.
Sir King and the rest of Avatar Nation, because he has a boneyard where he has posting. Please, we don't want to see no bones.
No bones.
Nobody's bone. But if you want to share, you have something to say, or you can just put it in the chat. We can highlight it and read it. Any stories or anything that you want to share, something you want to say. I want to say while I'm waiting for that, thank you guys for your support. Thank you for your messages. Even with the last incident, I do understand that it is different for some of you to hear me in that way or talk in that way, but real is real, and when I'm there, I'm there. So it's really nothing for me to.
And he was really there.
Yeah, it's nothing for me to get there and just say what I got to say and keep it moving. No love lost. And if the person or people wanted to come here and actually have a discussion, I'll be open to it. I don't have an issue with that. I did hear from somewhere that I happen to be mentioned on Lipstick Alley, I guess. I don't go there, so I don't know, but I was like, oh, okay.
They can't believe you cursed too.
Yeah, probably.
Or it's because you eating chicken. He's back on meat.
Probably not. I don't know, but I just find it to be a bit funny. Like,
he was all the way. Yeah, 0 to 100. No, it was 0 to 150.
No, it wasn't. Maybe a little bit.
But I tell you one thing: if you people were talking about how disgusted they were, and they wish people would stop doing these things. That all you would have to do is unsubscribe. If you subscribe to these people that do it, unsubscribe to them.
Yeah,
plain and simple.
I mean,
don't
do it. Because
they only do it because of the clicks and views.
Right, exactly.
So they will. So when they, hit a windfall,
right,
and it keeps them full of money, until
right. The best way to deal with that is just to ignore. Like, sometimes, and a lot of times I've done that, and that's why I don't.
I'm like this. I'd rather hit them in their pockets.
Right.
And that's a long-term thing. You can always go back later on, but see, that sends a message that this is not something that is acceptable to you.
Right. Right.
And, if they change their ways, you always go back to them. I mean, because you can just go to the next person to find out exactly what's going on. Just don't go to them.
Right. But, it's like it's nothing to be accepted. And the minute we sit back and allow
you say Black Friday
and be okay with it. Yeah, Black Friday is coming. I've been saying that shit, Black Friday, Christmas, all that shit. But I just don't we should not be accepting any of that.
Come on in the room. I love that. Come on in the room. Right. Come on in the room, babies. That does it. That reminds me of some grandmother that's about to fuss at you about some shit.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
What I do? I didn't do nothing.
You about to get your
dang.
Come on in here, Miss Philadelphia.
I know you drank out that orange juice.
Yeah. Had my mouth fixed.
They left the corner. You didn't leave a swallow. Come on in, baby.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy.
Yeah, but definitely, if you want to cut down on this doxing and everything, hit them in their pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Hit them in their pockets, especially the ones that are on all day long.
Right. Yeah.
This is generating income.
Hours and hours of doing that stuff.
Now they're even doing slumber parties.
Right.
I just see them overnight. I've seen a whole bunch of them overnight. Hey, Tanari, how you doing?
Throwing stuff up in there and then, saying, hey, well.
She is not funny. Tanari. Tanari, come on in, baby.
Right.
You know the things that run through my mind when I hear that. I was like,
oh my gosh! To me, it don't be nothing sexual though. Like when people like,
for me it does, because I'm like, God dang, I
no,
could just, oh my God.
it really don't be nothing sexual. Because to me, I come from a pretty large church, and the ladies in the back would always be doing.
They would. Yeah,
when people would come in looking crazy, it's like, and we would.
Yeah, but you know what? It's a nonverbal
yes
thing.
it's a nonverbal.
It's like a
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
there's a
Right.
or
As they look in or as
and
they,
there's
right.
says a lot. You don't have to. You
don't say nothing.
that shit was out before emojis. Okay.
Right. So that's the part that makes it so funny to me, because I can visualize like the ushers in the back doing all kinds of stuff, and we would just sit in front of them and be cracking up, and they tap us and what y'all laughing at? And we like nothing, and be cracking up at them, looking at people and kind of having their own little language about folks.
And that's exactly what it is. Nonverbal communication.
So it's too funny. So when he's like, come on in the room, I'm like, oh, somebody gonna get it. But
I got to wait my 3 minutes.
Right. I gotta wait my 3 minutes, y'all.
See, I'd fuck up every time because it'd be like it'd be like 2:49.
Right.
Oh shit! I don't know. God damn it!
I done started early, but he's very disciplined in that, because I'd have been like, let me just hurry him and get this.
He has to have a timer or something. Looking at his phone, counting it down.
Probably do. And as it gets close to that time, in the room, it's funny to me. I don't know. Even when he said, if I get triggered, don't come back, don't bring your ass back here. I had to come back, even in the house, just to hear him go. And then I left. I didn't hear the rest of it because I didn't know what he was going to talk about. But not that it was going to trigger me, but I like to keep it the way it is. If you're just going, kind of roast and gag, then that's because that's what I'm used to. Like it's like, oh, you crack a little joke, I keep it moving. But anything too dark, it's like, I don't, to each his own. But I love that about him. And again, everybody don't, and that's cool, and we're okay. And like everybody has an opinion, and that's okay. That's what YouTube is for. You can give your commentary on your thing. But just like I said in the beginning, in the opening, I just want to make sure that when we're giving our opinions, that we are understanding at the same time that sometimes certain things we can say can be put in a certain context that is not so flattering. So we want to make sure that, of course, when we are addressing men and or women, that we are just not demeaning them just because of who he or she chooses to sleep with or whatever, that they are always men first, women first, and it is what it is.
Human beings, just be respectful. That's all.
So,
just be respectful.
I get it. So that's about it. That's all I got. That is all I got for you folks.
Okay.
All right. So this weekend, I think I might have a I don't know. I was tired last weekend. So I was just like, nobody was like, maybe I'll go to sleep.
You know my ass was done.
So if I do have one, I'll put it up earlier. If I do a nightcap, but I don't know. Lately, I've been just like, it's been cold, so I just been like wrapped up and going back to sleep.
Going back to sleep.
Right. But if I do, I will let you guys know, and we'll just hang out for a bit. But
definitely, especially after the weekend, I've spent more time here than I normally do, and it has thrown me off.
Right.
It has thrown me off.
Right. Yeah,
too much. Yes, but remember, you can affect the change yourself just by your actions.
That's right. You can always be the change that you want to see. Don't get so disheartened with people and their actions. Just know that it just takes a person. It just takes a person to create a change. Just like with me being here, I didn't ask to be here. Just the people I was following initially, it kind of gravitated toward me here. But just because I'm here, don't mean I gotta participate in a lot of the things that go on here. Yeah, I crack a joke because I can be funny, and I laugh at certain people's jokes and things that are funny, but certain things I don't find funny, and that's okay. Certain situations I wouldn't necessarily do, and that's okay. That's just me. And I can only speak for me and vouch for me. But at the same time, what I do and how I am, it shows, it speaks. And so make sure that when you present yourself at all times, you're speaking for yourself. So, if it's something that you don't necessarily, rock with, it's okay not to do so. And just be yourself, be you. And, the people that see that and respect you will see it and respect you. It's not a race here to see who's going to get the largest numbers first. Because if you're true to who you are and you stay true to who you are, trust and believe people will see it and they will gravitate. I mean, I'm almost, due to all of this little whatever this was, I am like clearly less than 2 and change from being 2,000 followers. So thank you.
You know what? I didn't push my OnlyFans page, man.
But I saw that when you did that. I was like, really? And I was like, like,
it looked legit too, didn't it?
It did. I was like, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Blow it out. He was like, well, since everybody
that's right, I'm getting all this attention.
Right. Come the hot commodity.
That's right. Come on over to my OnlyFans page.
Well, in the words of Sir King, a lot of times people have a lot of booger wolves on their on their platforms that I am not,
I was like a booger wolf.
I am not, opposed to them, kind of taking a quick interview because, it is someone that a lot of the women kind of like, oh, who's that? He's a very handsome man. And that's fine. I don't, there's a lot of people out here.
Yeah, I'm just eye candy.
That's it. And that's fine. I mean, some people would say the same thing about me, and that's okay. But yeah, it's just, come on, y'all. Like, yeah, just keep
you should go into the lobby.
It's entertainment, right? Not going to the lobby. It is definitely entertainment. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I like Sir King too. He is shady. He is shady, and he knows it. But it's good. A lot of his lives are good. Like I was in his live. He did Halloween with Mama D, and she was such a great spirit. Like funny as hell. Didn't take no mess, but she definitely dropped a lot of jewels. Just about being yourself and just being, strong and not really paying attention to people and understand that a lot of people don't want what you want. And even though you try to help them or see certain things that other people may be doing to the detriment of themselves, you can't, focus on that. And
you can't force them.
Yeah, you can't force them. So your focus is just continue to be you, and those who appreciate you and see, whatever it is you're trying to do, and go with you, then take those people with you. And don't worry about the rest.
I tell you one thing I'm seeing a lot of new faces coming across my feed now.
Yeah.
Because I am because you clean out a lot of old dead wood every now and then.
Right.
Stuff, sometimes I get to clean the dirt out. Right. And a lot of new and up and coming. So give them a shot. Yeah. If you want to change what they call that sector.
Right.
Gentrify that shit. That's what it is. Gentrify that shit. Don't have no Starbucks and not a whole bunch of white people. But gentrify it. You have white people. They see you have some nice white people. But seriously, gentrify that shit.
1 to 10. Really? Can we do like a negative? Can we go like in the negative?
But remember, he was only supposed to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, that's it.
I have to keep telling myself that. I didn't expect this motherfucker to do anything.
We've been saying
he's just another white man.
Yeah, I've been saying that from jump. He was just supposed to be like the grandpa who's still kind of racist, but he cool to be at the table. Like he'll say some stuff, and then he'll be like, "Grandpa, why you say that?" And it's not. He was never going to be like Obama. You wasn't gonna go from Trump to Obama. Like that was not gonna happen.
And even Obama, for me,
right.
he was just
he
was trying too hard.
He was
he was trying too hard to be down the middle.
Well, they block. Well,
and then they would. Oh, then too, it was the same thing. They kept blocking him
because they figured that he might do a total. I'm gonna do this for my people. So they made sure.
I'd have did that shit.
Right, but they made
all be wearing dashikis, brother.
But see, the thing about my issue with him though is the first term I understood it. The first term I understood.
Yeah, the second one you had nothing to lose.
But the second one, you really had not a damn thing to lose. So unless you was worried about whomever was running next, like Hillary or whatever, it was like, well, they would have to just follow behind you and then one up you on whatever you did.
Yeah,
so
but it wouldn't have been Hillary. She made too many mistakes.
You didn't have Congress at that point. You didn't have anything. So all you really had to do was be like, bam, this is what I want to do. Let's push through it. Let's get it done. So yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Smart Show.
Hey, Smart Show. Thank you so
Pastor
much
Nate.
Thank you, Pastor Nate, for the super show. Even though somebody else was trying to say it was Pastor Nate. What April? What was her name? April Walker or April something had posted in somebody's chat. I think it was DKL's, and I was watching because I don't drop down. And that, did you think that Pastor Nate is stomped down? I was like, see, there we go, starting shit. Like that. What? Like, stop. Go ask the motherfucker who he is. Like, why are we doing all this? And especially if he comes from the house of Jay Wilson, ask Jay Wilson. Shit. Stop the shit. Can you say happy birthday to my friend Hugh Jazz? Sure. Happy birthday, Hugh Jazz. Hopefully, you having a great birthday.
Yeah.
And
you know what too? Today's my mother's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Mama Nate.
She got a life, okay?
Huh?
She got a life.
As she should. So happy birthday.
Just don't be walking up in Mama's house. Lord only knows. I don't want to see that. I will be so done forever and ever and ever.
I was having communion with my friend.
No, I don't want to know. I don't
even want to talk about the time when I walked in.
You should wonder why they locked the door.
No, but see, they never really did lock the door. Usually it was just.
No, these locked the door.
Well, I mean, you don't wait till you do that. First of all, you do that when you older. Like you do that when you're younger. To be locking the door in there. That's when y'all should have been doing it. You don't wait till your kids is like damn near, the youngest being, 20, 21. You don't wait till then and want to be doing the hucklebuck.
They don't think you have a sex life after that anyway.
You don't be waiting till then to want to be doing the hucklebuck when I'm in the house because I'm home from school. Like, don't do that. Don't scar me for. I stayed upstairs for 3 days. I stayed up in my room.
When you balled up in the corner holding your blanket, shaking.
I dodged my mother and father for 3 days.
Did you say it burns us?
I would right. The precious, it burns. I literally would go, I'd eat breakfast when everybody else was done. So I'd go have some cereal or something by myself. Then I'd run back upstairs or leave the house or do something. I avoided my mother.
You were scarfing down the Cheerios.
I would avoid for 3 days. And my mother was like, boy, bring your button here. And I was just like, you shouldn't have walked in. You should have knocked. I said, I did knock. But we do this, that one knock and push open the door. So it was like,
you don't wait. When you don't wait to hear anything, they ain't doing nothing anyway. Because see, you got in that habit of saying that stuff. They ain't doing nothing anyway. You too old. Y'all don't do nothing anyway.
I ain't heard nothing. I saw it. I was like, oh God.
Thank you, Gifted. My birthday's next week. Scorpio season. Yeah.
All right.
We don't act ridiculous like everybody else. We too busy. We too busy plotting. We say, kiss.
on the back of the bathroom door.
It took me forever to figure out what the douchebag was when it was hanging up on. I'm like,
I did not know.
Because they would always use it as the hot water bag, but when they had the tube, and I'm like, what do you do? Wash your hair with the hose and what and what? You know, it's hanging up there, and they'll never pay that. And it took me forever. I remember I went over a friend of mine's house, and I wouldn't use his bathroom.
Oh, dang. Dang.
And I was like, I know a bag. That's what about 2 or 3 gallons? I don't know. What you
What are you fleeting with?
Oh my God.
Jeez.
No, but now they're all sophisticated. Now they haven't built into the plumbing.
Oh, yes. Or you can just use a shower head.
I'm glad my organisms are self-cleansing. Thank you, Tanari.
That's crazy.
Yes, definitely self-cleansing. It's a self-cleansing organism.
Yeah, it sure is. I bet it is. The royal penis is clean. Coming to America. Who is down there holding their breath under that water? Who is? She said, I was told at a very young age not to open the door. See, we didn't care. Like, my mother said it, and my father didn't really say too much. But mother would say it, and it'd be like, but we know when they went on vacation alone, that's probably what they did. But it was like in the house, it was like,
and plus
stuff was going on every day. So it was like you was taking somebody to some kind of practice or rehearsal or something. So it wasn't even like, where you have time? You don't have time to do any of this. Like, so I guess when we got older, it was a little different, but it was like, ew.
No, and we slept with our parents for years. So like, yeah, you know, until we got to school.
No, my mother kicked you out.
She kicked you out.
She would kick you out. Like you'd be even trying to like sneak, like, oh, she's gonna go on, she's gonna come here, go to sleep, and you'd be like, oh, I'm gonna beat her to it. I'll just go in the room and she won't kick me out because I'm in here sleeping. She'd be like, get up and go to your own room. Thank you. You'd be like, but get out. So yeah, we definitely got kicked out plenty of times. Let's see. Why do you think American monarchies have become intensely divisive? Race.
Yeah, that's the main problem.
That's the main part
unaddressed conversation.
Unaddressed conversation of race. Because that's what it really boils down to. I mean, people don't want to talk about it because, of course, they don't want to feel "quote unquote" guilty.
It doesn't make it go away.
Yeah,
and it still exists, and that's why it still exists.
Yeah,
because just like we have kitchen table talk, they have kitchen table talk, and as you see, they're passing everything that they've learned to their young kids because
they're young kids and grandkids. You know,
I used to think that once the old ones died, that it was over, but it's not.
No, because the younger ones feel like they are taking on a mantle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And unless they have contact with other
people, they won't
than themselves. They'll never know what it's like. Because you can tell the difference. Kids that have been around other kids. Totally different. But all those ones that live out in the burbs that only see a person of color
once in a blue, right?
And they only know what they know from that and TV,
rap music, and all the other stuff. So that's why a lot of times when people say, "Oh, we use the N word in rap songs and stuff as a thing of empowerment," but understand that the same on the other coin of that, the people that listen to it also are those same suburban people. So when when you are up in arms that so and so said this word, you realize that they're listening to that same music that you find empowering, that you're using as empowered. They're listening to that same music and saying to themselves, well, if you say it, then I could say it because, and it's like, we have to kind of find a different way. And I'm not saying everybody got to be cookie cutter and, you can't curse in your raps, but something else. I mean, we can call each other kings and queens without calling each other niggas and bitches. I mean, something.
Yeah, once rap took that turn, I was done with it.
Yeah. It was like we didn't start that way. It wasn't like
it was totally different.
Right.
But you remember
calling each other
who controlled the music.
Yeah, right.
And I would tell white people that all the time. You know, rap music is so. Why do they use all the words? I said you got to ask the white folk,
right?
because they're the ones that are putting that stuff out there,
right? Because they were the ones of the CEOs, and making sure that the money was still that money was flowing. So
yeah, that's like when I went to Mexico. It was like years and years ago, back in like the early 90s.
You telling me stuff?
Huh? Yeah.
Well, I was a little kid. Well, not that.
Were you even born? Were you even here?
I was.
Oh, okay.
Very much here. Don't come for me.
Yeah, but even back then, they their only contact, with black people was through TV. So everything was basketball,
right?
And they would run reruns of like Good Times and and Sanford and Son and that kind of stuff. And they could, hey, Soul Man, whatever. Everything was back then. They were like, so it's like,
hey,
so
brother.
I was like, wait a minute, that shit was in the 70s, and but then I couldn't get mad because that's all they would see. That and the fact I was taller than everybody. You know how I mean, they're really short, real short, man. Don't ever try to use a bathroom there. You sit in the stall. You need, because everything's scaled down. It's like they don't call them midgets anymore. What do they call them? Little people.
No,
the little bit. All these midget toilets and stuff.
I don't think it's that small now, but
no, they were small. I'm not lying to you.
No, I can imagine.
Could not close that.
I mean, I've been in the earlier, like 2016. I don't think it's that bad now, but
no. They're modernized. And plus, this was I was down near the Yucatan Peninsula, and then down near the villages. They all had immaculate floors because they made them out of the tiles that the government gives them X amount of for the gives them land,
right?
And the materials they would just get, and because the weather, you're almost near the equator,
right?
They lived in cinder block houses. They didn't have doors. They didn't have doors on the doors in the doorways and windows. Everything was just open and breezy. And they might have had a rainy season, and that was it. But that's all they would see. And they had a like a well with the pump. They had that kind of stuff. They didn't have running water and things like that. So back during that, now that everything's modern down there, and the drug cartels, if they ain't do nothing else,
right. And to answer your question, I mean, we don't, but that's where education comes from. That's where true education comes from. Because if you don't educate, and you don't read and research, and you do me search over research, as Conscious Lee would say, that's when that comes into play, where it will repeat, because you won't know anything about how slavery was able to make tons of money for the United States. And then you now look at the prison industrial system and realize that they're making just as much money for private businesses and the United States as slavery did.
That's right.
At the same and the same token of basically, because that amendment that we praise and ended slavery, it did not. It just made a loophole for slavery. As long as you are arrested or incarcerated, you can then be a slave to the state or the federal government, depending on who imprisons you. You are then a slave, period. And the surprise that there are more black people and people of color incarcerated than white folks, not a surprise. It's slavery.
That was the first thing. Once they found that loophole, they just started funneling people into it.
That's it. Which is why even the southern states, after that, they didn't protest or try to do another rebellion to start another civil war, is because they were able to still find a loophole. So then they was like, well, okay, we'll just
that was more acceptable.
Right. We'll just take our money that we done made off this cotton gin and now invest it in this little.
And you get arrested for the stupidest things.
Gonna arrest you for just being black and walking after 6 o'clock. and they'll leave you in jail for a couple years.
We need to stand by the mushroom. To never allow history to repeat. Yeah, but you got to remember too, they're trying. This is why they're trying to whitewash history.
Right. Did you
sanitize it?
I didn't see that comment yet because, of course, it delays here coming here. But you wanted Thelma's clothes on Good Times, did you? Thelma. Who was Thelma?
Thelma is the sister.
Oh, okay.
All them bell bottoms, because they rocking bell bottoms back then.
Yeah, well, by the time I was watching, of course, it was well into syndication. But
did you even know what they were called? They weren't just flared jeans. They were bell bottoms and wide leg pants. I love wide leg pants.
I never liked wide leg pants. My mother liked wide leg pants, and she would always buy them as a kid. You know, when your mother buy your clothes, like, I'll get this. That way you grow into them. How do you grow into some wide leg pants? You don't.
That's because they had all pinned up at the sides, keeping from falling down. Right. History has been whitewashed. Yes, from the beginning.
From the beginning. Very true.
I mean, because at my age, and there's still certain new things that I'm starting to pick up on because it's just been buried.
Yeah.
You know, you never talked about it. Of course, in school, you were never taught it.
Right.
And then once it hit, that's like what they were doing with the children, you know, the indigenous children. And how they were torturing them and things like that. I never even knew that had even happened. You never hear about that kind of stuff, and that's what they want to cover up. All of their people's atrocities.
Yeah, right. Which is part of the reason why they are so gun ho with this, not teaching critical race theory. Although, again, critical race theory is not taught in pre-colloquial elementary through 12th grade education. It was only for graduate and doctorate and so on and so forth.
I mean, unless you were going to college.
It unveils the atrocities, the true atrocities, not just that possibly could have happened. No, this happened. These people, these children were thrown into these marshes and fed to alligators. That happened. These people were thrown overboard in chains. So if one was sick, they all died instead of just that person being released, you know, because they were dead. No, they all went over, and some of them and all of them died, you know, underwater. All of this happened. And so it needs to be unveiled. And these people that have lost their lives due to the atrocities of these white folks need to be told. Their stories need to be told, and we don't need to sugarcoat it or make it seem like it was some fantasy world that happened so long ago that it doesn't matter. Because the funny thing is, they never allow you to forget the Holocaust, even though the German government still pays survivors of the Holocaust to this day. Not only that, they also give vehicles. That's why in Israel, if you've ever been, every freaking car, whether it's an old dusty truck or everything, is a Mercedes. They give to the people of Israel. They still pay descendants and their family members. So even if they're not direct descendants, like, you know, their grandparents, their children's children still get money from the German government for the Holocaust. So again, they make sure that even if they cause the atrocities to their own people, that they kind of, you know, sweeten it up to be like, oh yeah, we sorry we did that. He may have been a horrible person, but because even like we had the discussion a couple of days ago, and I said to you, I was saying to somebody that the only reason why Hitler did not make it to this to be like a world phenomenon is because they happened to just bomb Pearl Harbor, like the Japanese bomb Pearl Harbor, which totally changed the game, United States position in the war. They were not going to get involved whatsoever because they
they were going to sit out.
Because they had a lot of kind of that Hitler kind of mentality.
Well, you have to remember, the Germans got the blueprint from the United States.
Right. Exactly.
On how to suppress and control and
control
systematically exterminate these people.
Right.
That came from the United States. They actually had people here studying our southern states and how they controlled Black folk. And remember,
how to get rid of them.
Remember, the Holocaust was not the greatest tragedy.
Tragedy, yeah.
It is only the greatest tragedy on film that was filmed.
Exactly.
So, you know, when you would always believe that was the greatest thing that has happened,
right?
And it's not.
Right.
Slavery went on for hundreds of years,
right? Before anybody said, "Hold up, this shit ain't right." What are your thoughts on critical race theory? I personally believe that it is a political tool to further divide. No, I don't think so. I don't think it divides. It really just, for me, it tells the truth. And that's what history should always do. History should not be something that covers up one person's atrocity over the next because they don't feel like it makes them look in a good light. Just for example, if you come here to DC and you look around the nation's capital, all you see is statues of white men who either founded this country or anything, and they're placed in ways and under lights where they look so pristine, and it's almost like a historical Disney World, and you don't know any of the atrocities or their slave owners or how they treated their slaves or so on and so forth. You don't hear any of that. All you talk about is the great attributes that they did to this nation, which again creates if you're a person who happens to be white and you're looking at that and that's all you see and that's all you know, you think of yourself as this is a nation where in which people like me that look like me built it, and we created this great nation, which in reality was not true. There were people already living here that you kind of killed off, or you made them servitude.
Call a thing a thing. Go ahead, call a thing a thing.
All right, Miss Von Zant. And all these things happen, and it's okay to say that they happen. First of all, you give respect to the people that went through it, because I'll be damned if you're going to put the people through it and then not even give them credit to say, hey, yeah, we did put you through this shit, which is what you're doing when you're only teaching bits and pieces of history and not really telling the whole truth. That's my issue on that. No, I say kind of jokingly, so please don't.
And just remember, everything that you would see in other countries, things that go on, and you just say, wow, that would never happen here. Yes, it has.
Yeah. And it continues to go on.
And it continues. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The U.S. is definitely bloody.
Yeah, they are definitely, and they're international bullies. They are. Mm-hmm. In the with the guise of democracy and diplomacy, because again, everywhere, and granted, there are some atrocities that happen across the world, especially like with women rights and things of that nature, that definitely need to be addressed. But in the interest of money, oil, and basically capital power, a lot of times the United States has bullied their way to not protect the people in the eyes of democracy, but to make sure that they capitalize on whatever it is, whatever resource that nation has. Like a closer example, the Gulf War. You thinking the Gulf War was simply about, hey, you don't want this one nation overpowering the other, so the United States kind of stepped in to kind of, get in the way of that so they wouldn't bully them and take their oil. No, the United States was like, no, well, we want in on this too. So we'll protect you. You give us, majority of that oil. We'll then put our armies and people in place to then be able to harvest this oil for you. We bring up all these Exxons and all these other gas stations that are now conglomerates that anytime they feel like it, they sneeze and gas is either going up or down. It even goes up or down during election season, which I think is crazy. but that's all to make you, one, hurry up and vote, pick your vote, because if it goes this way, it's gonna go down. If it goes this way, it's gonna go up. So you already like, I want my gas prices to stay down. I don't need them to be at $4.
Remember, this is a capitalist society.
That's it. So everything
is ruled by the buck.
Yeah. Everything's about making money.
Look, they even told people, hurry up and die, hurry up, catch COVID and die. You have to take one for the team so we can get this shit running again. Listen to the things that they're telling you. You know, that's a damn shame.
But that's what I'm saying. But even early on, Ron DeSantis was saying that.
He actually said it.
Like,
I know.
My God, that's crazy.
But you know what?
He said it.
Fucking America's got a short ass memory, and they hear what they want to hear. Everything is selective.
That's it.
It is selective.
Said it out of his own mouth.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say? Yep, they did that to the Haitians after they drained them of their resources. Right, yeah. But see, one thing I will say about Haiti, everybody's been afraid of Haiti since Haiti told the French, you can go fuck yourself. Motherfuckers. But at the same time, the French has made Haiti pay
for who ever heard some shit like that?
Uprise, and they're still paying for it.
That's like us. That's like us telling Vietnam
slavery.
That we had to pay Vietnam because we went and invaded and still got handed to us.
Right.
Crazy as shit.
Handed to them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
So don't think you're not fuck, I can't even get it out. Your United States government is full of shit. They are just as guilty as all these other countries.
No, I have to disagree with you on that. It's not really teaching a mindset. It's because it's not. It's really just teaching honest history.
Yeah, the way that things actually are.
The way
things actually happen.
And the way things actually are, which is two different things. So with all due respect, I'll push back on that because that's really not what it is. It's really teaching it exactly how it happened. So you know that the Tulsa massacre happened. You know that a lot of these places that we call the Great Lakes and all these other,
yes, were actually towns.
Vacation at, they was actually towns that had black people living in them.
And they commandeered the land.
That people, when they felt like, oh, we can really make some money here.
If we dam up this lake and run it through here.
Drove the people out or burned the towns down and then just made a man lake out of it with bodies still at the bottom of a lot of these lakes and rivers.
Yeah, the cemeteries and churches and things, those buildings are still there.
Yeah, I mean,
but they do it in the cities when they routed through highways right through the city.
Right,
we have one that goes nowhere. You know which one I'm talking about? It actually goes.
Is that the Pulaski?
No, not Pulaski. It's a short section that runs to Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Oh,
and it just starts. It starts out of nowhere. And they took out 9 or 10 blocks and they ran it right through straight down the residential area, and it goes nowhere.
Wow. Well, no, I'm not surprised.
They say, where's my 40 acres in the no, I want 40 acres in a Hyundai. I get that 10-year right, 10-year warranty on it.
No, thank you. Don't need no mule. But yeah, I mean, but that's the simple thing.
Yeah, mules be sitting everywhere. I ain't doing all that.
There is what was promised.
I don't want to pick up no dog poop. I sure don't want to pick up no mule poop.
The word people, we the people, does not include a lot of
us.
No, it doesn't. No. It never did. No.
And that's all of that was not with us in mind.
And that's what real history teaching would teach us, that the reality is we the people, we were never included in that. So first, when we start with that, and it's not to make people feel guilty about them being white or privileged or whatever it is, but it's about letting the facts be the facts. That way we can start to grow to understand that, hey, you know, we were not able to come into your neighborhoods because it was already blocked off, that, you know, you could not let a person of color live in this area. You know, and that didn't come by choice. That came by redlining, which, you know, now we're starting to have those discussions. But if it had not been for, you know, people raising their voices about stuff like this, you know, would we still be dealing with this today, which we still are in many places. What is the name of the nurse like the beaches grow and nobody says eat the fruit because black bodies and then kill them? Oh, I don't know, but I've heard that before, TC. And I'm gonna look that up just because you said it. But I've heard that before. I'm about to look it up right now. But anyway,
did they have a lot of mail-in voting this year?
They did, but see again, Louis DeJoy doing his shit, and Biden, and this is why I say negative. The Postmaster General is that's an office that the president can not necessarily dismiss unless they are doing something against the government. Now, him stopping first class mail is a lot of things. It's not only your postal, not only your voting ballot for picking your primary candidates for these coming gubernatorial races, your sheriffs, your attorney generals, so on and so forth. Not only that, but your normal stuff, your credit card on first class mail.
Believe me, I'm waiting for packages, man. I told you a whole week.
Yeah, your packages come first class mail. So there's a lot of other things that come first class mail that we're just stuck on. Oh, he's just trying to slide in the ballots. But the fact that he's able to do that, and we have a whole new administration in office, and he's not as the head of the administration saying, all right, enough's enough, let's cut the bullshit, I'm going to relieve you and the rest of this cabinet of your duties, and we're going to put in some new people. It's beyond me. It lets me know that everybody is with the shits, because at the end of the day, they don't want to lose power either.
Yeah. We have to watch and see who he appoints to the board, because that comes up at the end of the year. That's why they can't do anything with DeJoy right now.
Right.
Because he has to be voted out, and the people that they have one that's sympathetic and two that are.
But he can be dismissed if they agree to dismiss him. But of course,
or as I always say, he can always go.
That too.
You say it looks like I'm in Virginia and the Republicans are winning. Yeah, but don't wait until the very last minute to see, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, I look at it and don't look, because that's going to be a very last minute to see who takes that.
Yeah, that's why I was asking. Did they do?
It's really tight.
A lot of mail-in voting, because they were showing the numbers in some of the areas. And they were very low as far as the mail-in part. A lot of people went in to vote, but it was early voting. I don't know what theirs is compared to ours here, because we get almost like a week.
Yeah, I would love to poll James Baldwin and big price. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people did. James Baldwin wasn't the only one. Josephine Baker said, "Fuck this shit, I'm out of here."
Yeah, I mean, but there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people leaving.
Yeah.
And I would say, if you don't have any
reason,
any real attachments, I think the only problem I wouldn't leave the country is because I still have, my mother's here, my sister's here, and I wouldn't want to be flying back and forth. If I leave, I'm not coming back. I ain't coming back. I'm gonna give me a little mud hut over in Ghana somewhere. No, I'm going over Ghana. Get me a mansion.
Right.
You see them houses over there? Stuff look nice.
Talking about so then I really be living the coming to America dream. Talking about the royal penis is clean. You sure right it's clean. Thank you.
Be right on over there in Ghana. Or someplace. I just want to make sure they don't have no civil wars and all the rest of the other kind of stuff.
DC, you're fine. No worries. Oh yeah, so many don't have a passport to leave. That is true too. I have mine. It's time to go. But anyway, okay, y'all done kept me here long enough. All right.
Okay. Your eyes turn red. Yeah, I see you blinking.
Yeah. Goodness gracious. I don't know. It's just something about being on here long periods of time that I just be like, all right, let's go. Let's wrap this up. Yeah, but thank you so much, guys, for
doing marathons,
hanging out. Yeah, I don't even watch people that do the marathons. They're like, I'll cut.
No, I'm just surprised that they're still on. It's like, wow, wait a minute.
Yeah, they be. they be running what they say, running that midnight oil. But I mean,
Big
to me,
time.
it's just like you can only talk about so many things so much that is like, all right.
No, dude, like Conscious. Yeah, I'm taking the second shift.
Yeah. Just let them talk and go to sleep.
They go to sleep. They racking it up. I mean, granted, people keep odd hours. Yeah, and that's exactly what happens.
And they were just talking, and he would sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about them. Well, guys, I think I'm gonna go. Yeah, but just making sure I got everything. Parts of Africa, certain parts want us. What? Gotta be careful. Yeah,
yeah,
that is true. That is right. Yeah.
But I think they're having an awakening also.
Yeah, they are. They're realizing that they've been used in Duke too, and a lot of times they're
telling a lot of them take your shit and get the hell out of my country. You're not going to be, you know.
Yeah, especially with the Chinese.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do y'all do that and allow them to treat your people that way?
Then they treat your people like shit.
Like shit, but then allow them to still stay in your country. If you don't kick them motherfuckers out, I don't care what grants they gave you. You better just crazy.
I mean, anytime the countries are bilingual, especially like in their signing and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Yep. See, now you're feeling it. Okay. Alrighty. All right. Just want to make sure I get all these. Yeah, right. Very true. And at least happy. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm always happy, even regardless. Even when I'm pissed off, I'm still.
And remember, you could affect the change.
Yeah.
All you got to do is pull the plug.
That's it.
When it stops ching, you stop hearing that. They stop hearing that cash register. If you're sick of all the foolishness that's going on, just unsubscribe to them until they change their ways. You do have some power.
Right. And then too, sometimes all you gotta do is check a mofo. That's it. You ain't gotta go too hard. You just let them know you ain't the one, nor the two, or the three.
I'd rather hit them in their pockets. That hurts more.
Yeah, that too. I mean, you could do a little bit of both. Ain't nothing wrong with that either. Yeah, so it is what it is. But anyway, everybody have a blessed night. Until next time, peace. Moisturize.
Keep your head on the swivel.
Yeah, keep your head on the swivel and don't let it divil. All right, peace.
Good night.